Ladies and gentlemen, brutal maniacs and death metal devotees, welcome back to another episode of Altars of Metal. Tonight we have a very special guest, a true titan of the genre. Since the late 80s, he's been at the forefront of relentless, uncompromising death metal with one of the Netherlands' most vicious exports, Sinister. Please welcome the one and only Aad Kloosterward to the show. Aad, your vocals have been the soundtrack to many headbang-induced neck injuries. Honored to have you here. Good evening, cool. Sir. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Thanks for inviting me for this interview. So I'm really happy to do this, and I'm okay. So I'm really looking forward to the question, and I will be honest as possible.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. So, all right, starting with the question, starting with what I've written here, which is not exactly all questions, it's just also some memories and stuff like that. Just to keep you in the loop, Altars of Metal used to be a fanzine that I started back in 97 when I was 16. And I stopped it in 2004, and now I revived it after 20 years, and we thought to do it in the form of YouTube live podcast show, because things are a little bit more interactive and more straightforward, and people get to interact with their favorite artists and everything. So it's a pleasure to have you here, sir. It's really nice.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. It was 1998 when I first heard about you guys. I was 17 at the time, and it was right when Nuclear Blast sent us this over here.
Aggressive Measures.
I still have the promo version.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Aggressive Measures. However, Sinister is one of the oldest death metal bands of the Dutch scene, along with Gorefest and Asphyx. You guys started in 1988, correct?
Yes. Yes, correct. Yeah.
So you guys are
a long time ago.
Yeah, time flies, right?
Oh my God, it's not normal.
Yeah.
It's like, especially when you have kids, the time is even going faster.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like unbelievable.
Oh,
so
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we are still here, or I'm still here, and we're still going strong. So
Killer. So you guys are now a 37-year-old band. Not only that, but there have been also tremendously too many lineup changes. Originally you were the drummer, but after Sinister's revival in 2005 you became the vocalist. So how challenging has that been in maintaining Sinister's identity and sound towards the intended direction? Do you find it to be a challenge or actually a feature?
I mean, you mean that I take over the vocals, you mean?
Yeah, no, that as well as the constant lineup changes, you know.
Do you know what it is like? I hear a lot of times that, or a lot of times people are talking about, is Aad such a difficult person to work with and blah, blah, blah. But I am not, I only ask 110%. That's it, and when you don't do this, then it cannot work in my eyes, of course I understand that you have family, of course they will come on the first place, I understand, but after this, all your free time needs to go to the band,
Absolutely.
And a lot of people in the beginning, no problem, I promise, of course, don't worry, and this and that, and then you recognize after half year already that 110% becomes 80%, and this, so then I say, hey, what's up? And when I ask you 2 or 3 times, it has to be 110%, and when you cannot change this, then you need to go, because you're as good as your weakest person, you mean, so everything has to be strong, and other people, they have enough after some time, it's like they do it for fun, so when they choose after many years, I wanna have a steady job or something else, or I choose for my girlfriend or family. I respect that, and then you cannot play in a band, and it's a shame that this happened a lot by us, and of course when you become an asshole, you also need to go, because it's not only the music, it's everything together, like when a band is the same like a marriage for me.
Absolutely.
When you feel bad at home, when at home is everything going bad, you feel not good, but when in the band it's not going good, you feel also bad. So it's a good example for me, So, and yeah, so I always try to, yeah, to find new people and go on, like, and yeah, and then always they say, yeah, they ask me, is this the final lineup? I don't know, man. I cannot promise, but of course, like with this line, of course, I hope every time that everybody will stay. But like, yeah, people getting older, and what can you do? It's like it's not that
Mm.
you have to sign a contract to play in Sinister. It's no Metallica or something. You when you want to leave, you can leave, and yeah, that's it. So like, yeah,
Yeah, you said the right word. You said that the band is like a marriage, and I totally agree. I always used to say the same thing. And marriage needs commitment, and
yes,
commitment is something very tough because, unfortunately, especially in the genre that we love, like metal and especially death metal, for example,
yeah,
you're not gonna make a living very easily. It's very tough to keep going,
oh
and
yeah,
if it's your main thing, you gotta sacrifice. Um, Having a stable job. You cannot
yeah,
travel, you
yeah,
cannot keep touring the world, and even
yeah,
if you have family, like you said, it's even more tough. So,
yeah.
uh,
It is.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
like yeah, some I was always lucky that I had the great support for Malaysia, for my wife. Of course, she was not always happy, but yeah, she know that this is what I want or like to do or want to do. So, but now of course it's perfect because she's in the band, so it became a little bit more easy, like. But yeah, it's what you said, like also when you have a marriage or you have a girlfriend and or you have a job outside of this, you have to like sacrifice a lot. You're losing friends because you're always on the road, or like you don't see your other family members don't so much anymore. And this, yeah, but this is where you choose for, like, yeah. So like when you don't want this and you start to complain about this, yeah, that like what I said before, then it's better to do this, or yeah, choose for your family. Or
Mm.
I'm in a happy position that I can do both, of course, but that's not for everybody.
You said she's that your wife is in the band. Is that the new bassist that we saw?
Yes,
Oh, so that's
yes,
your wife. All right.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
You found the golden combination over there.
yeah. It was like a couple of years ago, she was already with us for 1 year because we were not able to find the right bass player. So yeah, she was session player for us, and then okay, then we find somebody else. But now with the old bass player before, he was a great player, but like on personal level, yeah, I didn't match too much with him. So yeah, that was a reason for that he needed to leave. And I asked Alicia, can you please help us because we had many shows booked?
Hmm.
And she said, yeah, like of course she has her own business, and we have two children. So like she said, yeah, I have to see or I'm able to combine all everything. So but it worked out, and she's now with us already for some time, and yeah, it's going great.
How do you
So
how do you
yeah.
guys manage with the children? Are they grown-ups or
Oh no, daughter is 13. Our son is 18. So he's
all the
18. He's
best?
doing what he wants. But the one from 13, our girlie, she's going to grandmother when we are away. So she's staying there, so she can normally go to school and everything. So we are lucky that she's helping us. Yeah.
So the grandmother is also a member of Sinister unofficially.
Yeah, like yeah. When you see it like this, yes, on the background, let's say.
Cool, cool, man. Very nice. All right,
Yeah.
I'll be trying to be reading the comments as well from our viewers. There's this guy who is at every show I'm doing. My good friend Vitamin Death is his nickname, and he says he even before we started the interview, he started writing his comments. He always does that, and he says one of the very few bands that withstood the test of time, quality metal throughout the years, and one of my favorite logos of all time, along with Morgoth. Thank you for your time, sir, he says.
Oh, that's a nice compliment, of course. Yeah, that makes me proud, and everybody in the band, when they hear this, uh, they will be proud. Like yeah, what I said, it's simple. We do only our best, to make brutal, fast, quality, catchy music. But for the of course, on the first place, we do it for ourselves, of course. Like, and when music is finished and we are happy with it, then it's okay. But of course, it's really important that fans are also happy with it, of course. But I find out in all these years that you cannot make everybody happy, So,
Never.
but like, yeah, we're trying to do our best. We will never go from the path that we choose with extreme death metal. Of course, it's every time maybe a little bit different, but that's also the reason, because you have different members, so they have a different view on writing music. But it's always death metal, So like, also, I receive now all the new songs for the new record, so it's time for me to start recording vocals, and I can say it's really brutal, old school sinister death metal again. So like, yeah.
Cool, you're running ahead because I was just gonna ask you. It was one of my next questions about where we are at the moment with Sinister, if there is new material coming up and everything. So can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Like, what can I say? Normally, we do every 2 years. We make a new record. That's always what we want. But this time, we are now 5 years further, and of course, the music is already finished for some time. But yeah, I don't want to speak too much about it. But sometimes stuff happens in life, that that you cannot follow this schedule every 2 years. But all music is finished. I received this week all the songs, so, and I will start fast as possible. I will start, the vocals. So I have all the lyrics finished. So and all the music is finished. So now I'm trying to put on the nice vocal lines and the chorus, that it's catchy, because that's for me important. Like, when a song has a certain name, it's also nice that you hear it. There's a lot of course, good bands. I I don't say anything bad, but they have titles, but I never hear this in the song, like, and I think this is important, what a chorus makes it catchy, so you can still make brutal death metal and with catchy, chorus, so that it stays in your head, that's really important. So, but yeah, new music is like very fast, very brutal, like what I said, really catchy. We have this time 2 slower songs, but like, they are super heavy, of course, and they are a bit different. So I would say one is a bit Slayer, in the vein of Slayer. So like, but yeah, of course, with the brutal vocals, it's death metal. But and we have one long, slower song. That's, I think, the most different song that we did till now. But everybody likes it. So this is a song that I think, ooh, let's see what people think about it. But it's no reason for us to not do it, because we like it. So then we do it. Yeah, but yeah, I can guarantee that everybody who is into old Sinister, that they will really love it. Of course, we have a modern sound, but it's still raw, So it's not not too polished, not too nice. So I think people will be satisfied. I don't hear you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
important is that you like it. And
Yeah. Of course. Of
as you
course.
said before, you cannot please everybody. What's important is that Sinister view it as the next step. Now, who will like it is a different question, but
Yes.
as long as you like it, and as long this is progress. Um,
Yeah.
so how many tracks is it gonna have?
There will be. We have with one song. It's like more like intro. So together it will be 9 songs.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's what I said. I don't want to say too much about it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the surprise is gone. But yeah, what I say, it's no. This time we didn't use any samples, nothing, no synthesizer, nothing. Only like the old Cannibal Corpse style, straightforward. Like in your face. And yeah, we had mood for this. So. And maybe next time it will be again different, more in the style from syncretism, maybe with some more samples. But it's important that also the parts have to be right for when you use some samples, or like. And this time it was also very brutal. There was almost no room for I don't know, for samples, or so we said to each other, we keep it like totally only instruments and no bullshit for the rest. So yeah, let's make it really old school again.
That sounds very good for our ears and very bad for our necks.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool,
yeah.
man. All right, we're really looking forward to it. When should we expect the new release?
Yeah, I hope at the end of the year. I hope so. Like I try to do it fast as possible, but yeah, I record. I live in Slovenia, so
Hmm.
I record by a friend always. So, but yeah, I also depend, or he has free time, so that I can come. For so I hope that it will go fast. But we also have still shows next, not this weekend, but the next one we play in Sarajevo. Then we play in Belgium. So but I will try to do it fast as possible, and how faster it's finished, how faster the CD can come out. We have already the cover and everything. We have the title already. So when everything is recorded, I hope it can go fast.
So, is it a secret, or can I ask the title?
Yeah, till now, I didn't say it to anybody, but maybe it's a good promotion. Maybe it will be the CD will be called Lucid Nightmares.
Lucid Nightmares. All
Yeah,
right. Hey,
yeah,
first time in Elders of Metal. Yay! I got
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
Cool, man. So you wanna tell us a couple of words about what is its concept going to be? What are the lyrics going to be talking about? What's the
Now
subject?
the lyrics is like for us always. Yeah, don't understand me wrong, but this is always the second place. The music have to be, and this time they are like fantasy stories, or like about some illness, about people who like people throwing from the balcony only for fun. It's not fun because the lyrics is very brutal. But yeah, stuff like this. And sometimes it's about slaughtering, and like the typical, yeah, death metal stuff. Like, but
Absolutely.
yeah, what I said, for us the music is the most, of course they are good, of course, but I think it have to be combined. Like the lyrics have to fit to the music and everything. So like the long story is about people from the beginning of from the earth, that they were not able to speak and everything. So a little bit different than all the satanic stuff. Like but yeah, maybe the next time it will be about Satan again. It depends. It also depends. I'm watching a lot of documentaries and everything. So like sometimes I get some inspiration from this, and but it's not like that we will never preach anything about about politics or something like this. So
Yeah.
it's nothing. Yeah, of course they are good, but it's the typical death metal stuff.
Yeah. Cool. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Cool. Cool. Okay. Ad, when did you start listening to metal yourself?
Oh, I think when I was 14, maybe
Yeah.
14. Yeah,
Usually it's
like
for all of us it's about 13, 14 for most of us, I think.
yeah, yeah,
Just
like
after you finish
Motorhead.
primary school, or get
Yeah,
into high school,
correct. So
right?
I
Yeah.
and I had my neighbor. We were from the same age. With him, I started Sinister with
Hmm.
him. So, but he quit after the first record. But maybe we can talk about this later. Yeah, we were always together. We were listening to Motorhead, to Raven, to Merciful Fate, Iron Maiden. Judas Priest. All this typical bands from the beginning. Like, and then we started to like fantasizing together that we also want to play in a band, and like but we never touched any instrument or something. But yeah, and then one day he bought a guitar and he said to me, now you need to play drums. I said, no, I don't want. He said, yeah, but otherwise we cannot practice. So then I bought the drums, and I had no idea what to do. But yeah, and now but at the end it became something. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's what I said. It's like that everybody like on 14, 15, it's always Iron Maiden, Motorhead, Judas Priest, like,
What was the first tape? What was the first album you listened to? Do you remember the first band?
ooh, but yeah, yeah, that have to be maybe Iron Maiden, Killers, or
Yeah.
like, or the first Iron Maiden. Killers is maybe still my favorite from Iron Maiden, but yeah, like Motorhead, Bombers, Age of Space, yeah, all this. Yeah, this is the first records that I had or listening to, So
Cool,
yeah,
cool, man.
yeah.
All right.
And the funny thing is always that I remember till today that I always was the most impressed by the fast songs. So
I,
maybe that's the reason why Sinister started to play fast. Like, yeah,
and
yeah.
nowadays, you said fast songs. All right. What can you name a couple of bands that you really enjoy nowadays to have in your or on the player?
Oh yeah, like Suffocation is like one of my favorites, maybe my favorite. Like because this is the perfect mix of technical and brutality, but technical till a certain point that I still understand what they are playing. Some bands are going over the top. That I like. They are great musicians, but they make songs. But it's also technical when the song is finished that I don't remember how the song started. And this is what. Yeah, this is not my style of music. Yeah, to be honest, I listen a lot to Whitechapel. This new one is for me. It's fantastic. I love, of course, the vocals. It's very impressive for me. So yeah, like Carnifex, but also still listen to Autopsy, Celtic Frost. All this.
The
I
classics.
still
Yeah.
love. I still love this. The first Dead records. I still listen to this a lot because sometimes you listen a bit more to the modern stuff, but you always fall back
Yeah,
to the old stuff.
definitely.
It's like when you listen then Celtic Frost again, it's like, wow, this is so good.
Yeah,
Like
man. Yeah,
yeah.
it's the
So
basics, right? Yeah.
yeah. But to be honest, like it maybe not everybody leave, but 95% of the music that I listen is extreme music. That's it.
And
That's the music that makes me
mm,
happy. So like
and you
yeah,
mentioned even Suffocation. I know you know the guys because you have
yes,
also cooperated with Mike Smith, who has also been in Suffocation. You
yes,
were in
correct.
Voracious Scourge together.
Yeah,
So yeah, cool, man. And do you have
yeah.
any pleasures of guilt? Do you listen to other music as well besides metal?
No, I have like some bands from Holland from back in the days, like Picture. Maybe you know them. Like it's a really old heavy metal band.
Mm-hmm.
They were from my area, and till today I still take out the CD and still listen to it. And it's like more, yeah, really old heavy metal. But yeah, this is for me no guilt or something.
Okay.
Like I
No,
love it. It's
no,
still metal. Yeah.
no dance pop of the 80s or something like that.
Oh, please, no, no. Yeah, I always say to everybody, most important is like when you enjoy it, it's fine,
Yeah, of course,
But
man.
don't bother me with it.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
just very quickly reading some comments as well. My friend Vitamin Death before he also added a comment and he said that Anneke from The Gathering is another great export from the almighty Netherlands.
yes.
And yeah, and he wanted to ask you, talking about the children before and your wife and everything, he says, are you afraid for the world that we are going to leave for our children?
Oh yeah, of course.
Hmm.
Like I don't try not to think too much about it, of course, but yeah, how everything is going at the moment, it's horrible. But also, before I was living in Holland, like sometimes I go back and I see how everything is changing in a
Hmm.
negative way, all
Yeah.
this aggression
Yeah.
and all this bad stuff. Now I live already for 10 years in Slovenia yeah, we live some in the mountains, like a really small village. And here it feels still safe. Also,
Hmm.
I'm happy that my children are growing up here. It's
Hmm.
still like, I say you can still go away here and let your front door open, like,
Yeah.
and that's a really nice feeling. So,
Uh,
but of course, it's like when you see what's going on and all the hatred and all the bad stuff. Yeah, I'm afraid that it will never change because
hmm.
it always goes on. There's always something new going on. Again, another war, another this, another that. yeah, of course, I hope that my children will never be involved in something like this. But like, yeah, you never know, of course,
Yeah,
like, but
yeah,
that was no reason to have no kids, for example.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we leave the negative stuff for our music, and
yeah,
we then can concentrate on the positive stuff in everyday life.
yeah.
I think that's the way to feel sane. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm happy that I'm happy that I have the band. I always say you have normal life and you have more the fantasy world
Mm.
of music. Let's say, of course, it's pure reality. Of course, don't understand me wrong, but it's like it takes you away from all the bad stuff. Like when you're with friends and you're at a concert, you speak with fans, then everything is really positive. So then there's still a good side, but that's again has to do with music. Like, yeah,
I keep
so
repeating the
music.
yeah the same comment in almost every interview, and I say always to every artist that I invite in my show that, having your band and everything is like a form of psychotherapy, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Like, yeah,
It really is, as you said, a fantasy world where you can be happy and
yes,
you can forget of the problems and you do what you
yeah,
love and you travel the world, which can also be very tiring,
oh yeah,
touring, because
yeah.
everybody thinks, oh, it's wonderful, yeah, let's go on tour. It's not. It's quite exhausting. I know.
It's really exhausting. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
but at the same time, it is a pleasure, isn't it?
Of course, of
Yeah.
course. Like we just did a full tour in Asia. So we were like the first show was in Dubai. We were going to India, to
China,
Singapore.
Japan, Australia, Germany
Yeah, like,
before
yeah,
that.
like,
Uh,
and this was for me the Indonesia. I was there one time when we played Hammersonic Fest, but for me this was finally something new. I was never there, so it was for everybody a great experience, and it was like, yeah, it was fantastic, to be honest. Like, it's only funny, you see the difference between fans in this kind of countries. It's
yes,
really, yeah, it's really
very
funny
different,
to
right?
see. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. If you remember, when we were trying to arrange this interview, we talked back in January, I think it was, or something like that, and you told me we're just leaving on our Asian tour and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
And if you remember, we had a little bit of a chat, a short one, and you said you were going to Japan, and I told you that it's my favorite country, and you've never been there before. Do I remember correctly? And
yeah, correct.
I told you then that I'm sure you're gonna love it, and I will wait for your comments when you come back. So here is my question: did you love it?
Okay. Oh, it was great.
It was
Really,
amazing,
it
wasn't it?
was. But it was a complete, yeah, I did say, strange and fantastic experience. Like before, when we, like, people are more dressed like normal. So like it was so strange to see this, and then like when you enter the stage, they were like really yelling, and when we start playing, they were going nuts. And then the song was finished, and they were like, yeah, and then totally silent, totally silent. And then I pronounced the next song, and they're like, yeah, and they were going nuts. And after the song, again screaming, and then totally silent again. It was so strange. I said to the other guy, to the other band members, "Shit, I don't know what to say anymore. They're so silent." But I saw on the reaction that they love it because they were going nuts in the when we were playing. So, and after the show, everybody was so friendly and polite, especially very polite.
Yeah, man, I
Like,
love the Japanese. I mean, I've been there four
yeah,
times myself.
yeah,
Every single time I'm going to that country, I get the same cultural shock, like as if it was the first time I'm going. Every single time,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
first of all, it's
yeah,
so different. It's like going to another planet, not even a planet, like
yeah,
going to another universe. Everything is
yeah,
different. The lettering, obviously, no Latin letters, just Japanese letters, kanji,
yeah, yeah,
katakana,
yeah,
and hiragana everywhere. And then their mentality is different. They're
yeah. Oh yeah,
very quiet, very respectful of
oh
their
yeah,
surrounding people. Nobody
yeah,
ever answers a phone in a train out of respect to the
yeah, yeah,
others. So many different things from us Westerners.
Oh yeah.
But always at the same time, so very nice in a positive way, I think, And what you said with the fans, like going, "Arr!" and then silence. I think it's because
Totally silent.
uh,
Totally. Yeah, yeah. Like, but it was the same in China.
hmm,
We did 2 shows in China. Also, the people are so polite. After the shows, we had signing sessions, and there was the row was from the table where we're sitting till the almost, let's say, outside, and they were totally silent. Nobody started screaming. Nobody started to make a problem. Everybody was polite, and like it was so different, but really nice to see that it can be also in this way. Like
amazing, amazing.
yeah,
What did you
yeah.
think about the country as a country? Did you manage to get around a little bit, or was there no time?
Nah,
Ah,
no, not too much to be honest. No,
okay.
we were in the city. We arrived from the airport.
Tokyo?
We needed to go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
We need to go to the hotel, sound check. So, and it was already a bit later. So, yeah, we had dinner and it was really nice. And then we were a little bit around, not too far because we didn't have so much time. But what we saw and the people who we spoke and at the concert, it was a really nice experience. Yeah,
Okay, cool, cool.
yeah,
I totally suggest you to find the time and go there for vacation. You're gonna have an
yeah, yeah,
unforgettable experience. It's amazing, as I
yeah,
said.
yeah.
All right, so gonna read a couple of comments again very quickly. My very good friend and my ex-guitarist from my ex-band Toxic Terror,
Okay,
Nicolas Thrasher Toxic Terror. He says good evening to you.
thank you.
And to everybody. And also another Greek guy, Antonis Sakas. He says good evening to both of us, and he really
Okay,
enjoys the
thank you.
show. And also Lily Arte. Hello, Lily. She's saying hello. So just this very quick hello session.
Okay, cool,
All
cool,
right.
cool.
So, last full-length album from Sinister was 5 years ago,
Yes.
Deformation of the Holy Realm. And I was
Yeah.
just, I had this question written to ask you about the new material, but you already talked about it. So, it's after 5 years. So we're gonna wait for that, and we're gonna look at the progress and that Sinister made. So very cool. Um, um, and you also talked about your live performances, and just to repeat a little bit, you played with Massive Assault and Inhuman Depravity at Izmir Attack in Turkey.
Yeah, correct.
You
Yes.
also played in Partisan Metal Open Air in Germany. You played in the Helsinki Death Fest in Finland. Also Brutal
Yeah.
Assault, Austria, Australia. Then you did the Asian tour, I think, and you played in
Yeah.
Kuala Lumpur in January, Dubai, India, China, Japan. So how was that tour, and how did the fans react to Sinister's performance? I mean, we talked a little bit about Japan, but how happy are you with the outcome?
Oh yeah, we are really happy. We didn't because when they offered us the tour, we had no expectations. Like we were like Dubai. Does somebody know us there? Like so we had no expectation. The same for India or like or Malaysia. We had no expectations. Like so everything what would be positive, it would be already great for us. But yeah, then you find out that you're, let's say, pretty famous there in this extreme music because we find out that Sinister was one of the first bands who came in these countries with this outside their own country who came with this kind of extreme music.
Hmm.
So yeah, so they were like super super happy to see us, and they're like hanging around with us, and we were hanging around with them. And yeah, like the concerts were all good. Like 2 shows in China, like we're both almost sold out with 300 people. So like yeah, we were not like in Indonesia, we're 3,000 people. Like so we like what the fuck? This is great. Like yeah.
Cool.
So yeah. So what can I say? We are only super thankful that we were able to do this. And yeah, when there's a chance, of course, we would like to do it again, but we said we will do it because an opportunity like this to tour in Asia, maybe it will not happen every year anymore. So and maybe it will never happen again. But but yeah, it turned out really good. So let's hope that we maybe can do it again. Who knows? Yeah.
And do you have any touring plans now for 2025?
Yeah, like they are busy now with a US tour for September
Mm-hmm.
till October. And in December, we will do 12 shows here in Europe together with Pessimist and Graceless, also a band from Holland. So the booking agency from us is working on this. In between, yeah, we play separate shows, club shows, festivals, everything as possible because this is the reason why we do it. We love to play live, you know.
Cool.
And of course, the traveling is not always perfect, but yeah, when you're on stage, you forget everything, and then yeah, this is then is everything is good again. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, we try to play much as possible as long the deals are fair, of course. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Ad, is there any crazy moment you remember from your touring life?
Whoa, not really. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I remember one. That's like back in the days in '94 when we toured with Cannibal Corpse. Like there were like we were with Alex and I don't know the other one. We were walking around, and then we came in some alley, and there were this like gangster types of guys, but we needed to pass this alley, you know, to go to the club. And then like we were Alex from Cannibal Corpse and me, we were like, shit, do we really have to go here, you know? Like, and then like, yeah, okay, we like said, okay, we need to do this. So and then yeah, we passed by. They were like screaming to us, but this was like more like,
Oh man.
and then
Act normal
yeah,
and
you
go,
never
right?
know what happened, you know, like yeah. And one time I was with the old guitar player. We were on the. They always say you can go 1 or 2 blocks, but don't go too far, you know. Otherwise, you can get problems. But we were walking, and we didn't pay attention, and he needed to call home, and he had this normal phone box, you know.
Shit.
And then there's also this gangster guys that were like screaming to us, and we are like, shit, like we are really, I think, in the wrong neighborhood. So we were watching each other, and we said to each other, we start running now, and we stop running when we are in the dressing room.
Oh man. Where was that? If I
We
may
came
ask?
in the dressing room like,
Yeah.
like yeah. You never know, you know. You're in a totally strange place. You have no idea where you
Yeah.
are. You know, I don't want to get in any problems because I'm there only for fun. You know,
Yeah.
like
Do you
yeah.
do you
So
remember where was that? Where was that?
that was I don't know, but it was somewhere in the U.S.
In the U.S.
because we
Okay.
were on tour for 9 weeks with Cannibal Corpse in '94. Like yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
This is always what. This is always the tour that I remember the most. You know, of course there.
Similar
Of course,
thing happened to me. I was like 19 or 20. I was with my girlfriend in the UK. I was studying there, and we were walking in an alley in the evening, in the night, and suddenly we see maybe 40 people or something like that holding
yeah,
sticks, like
yeah,
like baseball bats,
yeah,
and they were coming towards us. And I said, "Okay, act completely normal. We just keep
yeah,
going
yeah.
as if nothing is as if everything is normal." We just went through the 40 guys, and then we started running.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. That's the best thing you can do, you know.
yeah, man,
Uh,
yeah.
of course, they are. Maybe I forget. Of course, there was many stuff broke out, but not really. It's not that really bad stuff happened to us, you
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
Like so,
Fortunately,
maybe we are lucky with this, but yeah, we are also not the people who are searching for
trouble.
problems, or
Yeah.
we
Hmm.
are never. We are not such a big drinker so that we are drunk on the street and making problems or something like this, you know. So maybe we are lucky. So, but I'm fine with that.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Ad, let's talk about the Dutch death metal scene. What are the main bands you would distinguish today?
Yeah, so as far I know, it's still, of course, Pestilence. Asphyx is probably the number one. You have Pestilence, you have us, you have now Graceless is a little bit coming up. Yeah, Severe Torture. You have so like there are probably more, but this is the band that I can come up now with, So, but I think Holland had always a strong scene,
Always.
always strong, good bands,
I,
like yeah.
I remember back in the day when I was studying in the UK. And I apologize to our viewers if they hear the story again. I'm trying not to repeat those, but it was around 2001 or something like that, and I had a connection flight from Heraklion of Crete to Schiphol, and then
Yeah.
with Transavia, and then from Schiphol to North England, where I was studying.
Yeah.
So I had a friend who was living in Purmerend, and I said to him, his name was Dima, and I said, Dima, I'm gonna have a layover flight for like 8 hours or something like that, 10 hours in Schiphol. You think you can come over for a coffee to the airport? He says,
Yeah.
which hours is it? I said, from that time to that time. He says, let me see what gigs we have during those hours. I was like, are you kidding me? You're gonna see what gigs you guys have during those hours? I couldn't believe that in Holland you have so many gigs. And
Oh,
he just does a quick internet search and he says, oh, okay, we have Mortician playing in Rotterdam, so I'm gonna come over, pick you up.
That's my hometown.
Yeah, so Rotterdam. So we he picked me up from the airport. We went all the way to Rotterdam. We saw Mortician with, I don't remember who else, and saw the gig, had a lot of fun, went back to the airport, continued my flight.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That's a perfect break, right?
You guys are lucky to have that many gigs. It's a very
Yeah, of
active
course.
scene.
But now I live already for 10 years in Slovenia, and here it's way less
Yeah.
than in Holland, of course. So I'm almost not able to see. Yeah, I will not say nothing, but not much. Like 2 weeks ago, I saw Suffocation in Ljubljana, in the capital here. So that was cool. I've seen Aborted. I have seen here Vader, but it's not like in Holland that every weekend great bands are playing, or on a Monday or a Wednesday. Like, so yeah, that's not happening here. And you have a really big club in Ljubljana. Yeah, they are playing bands like Behemoth or In Flames. So like Arch Enemy, for example. But yeah, that's not my thing, let's say. But there are some bands coming, but it's not so much as in Holland, of course.
And I remember you guys have some really nice venues. And I remember about 25 years ago, like 013 Club in Tilburg, or Enschede Attack Club.
Attack. Yes,
I saw Ball Thrower. I saw over there back then. This T-shirt. This T-shirt.
Yeah, I saw it already.
Yeah, it was from that gig. I think that was
cool.
in Enschede, and I because I knew we were going to talk about this. These guys, they were always producing some nice T-shirts, and this is from a Dutch-German tour. So Rotterdam, Enschede, Essen, Zwickau, Groningen. From back then. And
cool.
Yeah, and it has a very small on the left, on the hard side, the Ball Thrower logo. And
okay, nice.
It was nice to collect stuff back then for a Greek who would go into a Dutch German tour. You would never find this T-shirt again.
But now I know why you. Now I know why you speak so good English, because you were studying there, right? Yeah, I was before we start this. I was like, this guy speaks really good English. Like,
Thank you, man. Now I'm half German also, so I can also.
Okay.
Ich kann auch ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen, so.
Okay, ein bisschen.
Yeah, and the bad words in Dutch as well, of course. But,
yeah. That's the words that you learn at first, eh?
always. So. We talked before about Dutch death metal scene and bands that you distinguish. Are there also some less known names from your country that you would recommend to us as worthy to check out? Perhaps something from the new blood or less known?
Ooh. Yeah, I know, but it's hard to to find the names now. But like Graceless, what I said, they are from Holland. They will come with a new record. We did some shows with them also not so long time ago. We did with them in Germany, in Munich, and they are like a good band. They are influenced by Ball Thrower. They are more the mid-tempo, like slower stuff, but really good. Like I like them, So and they are, and I like them even more because they are great people, and that's for me also the same important. You can be the best band, but when you're a fucking asshole,
Exactly.
I will not support you. Like,
I will not
but when
mention names, but there have been bands
no,
that
I
I
will
have.
also not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have been disappointed by some artists sometime. When you get to meet
yeah, me
them,
too,
yeah,
me
it
too.
happens. It happens, and
Yeah, like I
Mhm.
don't know why you. I always say, hey, we play all death metal, and death metal will never be major, 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 major.
Mm,
Every band is on some certain level, and it will not grow. I don't mean it in a bad way because it's the same with my band. Like when you play this extreme stuff, you know that you will never be mainstream, and
mm,
you know what I mean. And I see this with bands like Dying Fetus, or or now these bands. They are great bands, but they I think they almost have their top. What can change, what make them play stadiums. It never will. Also not for my band. It will not happen. Like, so I think, and I don't mean about the people from this band, because I will not say any names who has a really bad, or that I have a bad experience with, but it's all metal, and please enjoy that fans love you and that fans buy your T-shirt or CD, or be happy with what you have. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly. And as you said before, it's important that they're good guys, and this is exactly
yeah,
the most important thing when forming a band. Of
of
course,
course,
you need good musicians, but number
yeah.
one is that you get along with the other members, and
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
it's gonna be people that that you can hang around and have some fun together, and make sure that you become friends. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yes, you totally agree, and this was always also, not always, but this was also sometimes the problem with Sinister, that he was a great guitar player or a great bass player, but there was no click at all, because the person was totally different. We like to make jokes and we like to have fun, and I'm always proud that people say to us, "You're one of the few bands who are hanging around in the club before the show, after the show, like a normal, yeah, metalhead fan, But this is what we like, because we are on a certain point, but we all have to thank this to the fans, So
Mm.
why should you be an ass? I
End
see
of the
no
day,
reason.
everybody is a normal person.
Of course, like I always say, on Monday morning, the alarm is going and you need to go to work. You are not Metallica, so
As
yeah, simple as that.
as an ex-colleague of mine used to say, we all shit in the same toilet. End of the day.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
are you familiar with any bands from the Greek metal scene?
Yeah, I know Rotten Christ. I know them, of course, and you have Drunkard,
Drunkard.
this
Yeah.
thrash band. Yeah, they are really good. Yeah, I
Thrash.
like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some CDs from them. They're like trash metal, but they are really good. Yeah, and then you have I forgot the name. They are really brutal, extreme death metal. I love them. But I forgot now the name. I have also CDs from them. So I know some bands, from there. And
Death Courier, perhaps.
who? Sorry.
Death Courier, or In
Yeah, maybe.
Veracity, or
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
I don't
All right.
know. I have some T-shirts even from them, and well, they are really good, but they didn't bring out now for a long time already some records, so I don't know or they still exist
Check
or.
out Death Courier. I think you would love them.
Okay, cool.
They are very much, I think, like Suffocation. So,
Okay, that's
but
perfect.
really
Yeah.
with their own style, and I think it's really good to check out.
Okay,
Yeah.
but like I am still really a big underground fan. I still follow on internet, and when I love something, I put it on my Facebook for myself for listening, but also for promotion for the band. Because a lot of people checking out my Facebook. So when they see this band and maybe they are listening, I get a lot of comments like, thank you that you put this here because we didn't know it. So I still like this underground stuff. I still wear everyday metal shirts. I I didn't change anything from let's say when I was 15. I'm still the same person. Like only the difference is that I play in Sinister. That's it. That's the only thing that is different.
Cool, man. My friend Vitamin Death, he's asking the question: do you like Deathspell Omega and Titan Blood?
The first one I know. They are pretty good, but the other one, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. You have also been active with as I mentioned before, with Voracious Scourge, another great death metal band with some good names in it. Like I mentioned, like Mike Smith, who has also been in Suffocation, and the amazing Tony Choi on the bass. Again, last release was In Death 5 years ago. Do we have any news from the camp of Voracious Scourge?
Jason, the guitar player, he is the mastermind behind this band or project, how you want to call it. What's funny, because one day he sent me a message and he was fan of Sinister, and he said, I'm busy with a project and I'm interested, or you maybe want to do vocals for this. And I was like, yeah, of course, why not? And he was like, whoa, hell yeah, that goes easy. I said, yeah, why not? And then he said, yeah, Mike Smith will play. I said, okay, now I am in for 100%. So he's creating all the music. He's making the lyrics, because I told him I love to do it, but I have no time for writing lyrics also for this. So he's doing this. And he sent me all the music, and I record here what I said in Slovenia, the vocals. And I think it turned out really well, because I think this In Death records, for me, it's really, really good. So and it's funny that you say this now, because last week he sent me 2 new songs and 1 cover, and that's one Supposed to Rot from Entombed.
All right.
We will do. So he said to me, I like to make an EP with 4 new songs and 1 cover. And what I think about this, I said, yeah, of course, no problem. I mean, man,
All right.
So I said, yeah, you are in control. You can do what you want. So about this, also new music is on the way. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Any plans? Maybe any dates we could expect,
Ooh,
like end of the year,
no, I cannot.
next year?
I cannot.
You guys are taking
No.
it easy.
Yeah, I cannot say this, because sinners have always priority.
Yes, of course.
And he knows this, and he has no problem with this. And I told him, and he said, yeah, when you have time, do some vocals recordings, and then we will see. But I know the new songs, they are really, really good. Again, in the same vein, a bit Morbid Angel type of death metal, like the old Morbid Angel, let's say. So I think you will like it for sure. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Is there any chance we get to see any live performances from Voracious Scourge?
Yeah, Jason and me, we are talking already for some years about this, but yeah, it's not easy, we're traveling, and it would be possible when, for example, when we have a full tour, when they want to, when some new stuff is out and they say, yeah, you can go on tour for 2 weeks, then it's money wise, it's interesting to do, because we are not famous at all. So I don't know how it is with tickets from the US and but when it would be possible, but that's a really when it's possible, you never know. Let's say.
All right.
Yeah.
So it just popped up in my mind when I asked you before. You were trying to remember that Greek band. Could it be perhaps Acid Death? Just thought about it as well. No, okay.
No,
all right.
no,
Who knows?
no,
It's another band. All right.
No.
Okay. And in 2012, you were also in Weapons to Hunt. Again, with ex-Sinister members like Paul Beltman in the drums, Bastian Broussard in the guitars, and Ron van de Polder, guitars and bass. And you guys released one album entitled Blessed in Sin.
Yeah.
Are we ever going to see something from that band again?
No.
No.
No. With Ron van de Polder, who is playing guitar and bass. With him, I started Sinister when we are really young. So yeah, because this was a guy that we lived next to each other. We were listening to Raven and everything. Yeah, yeah.
This is
But
the
then,
guy you listen to the first stuff together. Okay.
yeah, yeah, it's him. Like because he's still following
Right.
Sinister. He's the same age as me. Sometimes he write a message, "Hey, Aad, I'm still following you. What you're doing, and you're what the fuck? You're in Dubai now. My God, can you remember that we were young and that this would ever happen? And like, it's really cool, of course. And yeah, he wanted to make some music, and he asked me, or I wanted to do vocals. I said, okay, I will ask the other guys, or want to play guitar, and Paul, or he wants to play drums. And they were all like, yeah, why not? So Ron still had some music, and yeah, and then we recorded this record. So like, but yeah, it was all the music from him, and he is totally out of music. So
Okay.
yeah, it will not happen again. He has a really good job, family, and totally different. Yeah.
I see. Last effort to see if I guess the Greek band. Could it be Piranha? No.
No.
Okay,
No.
I lost.
No, I
Alright.
totally forgot. My God, they are really good. Yeah.
Because you said Dubai, and that reminded me of them, and they are in that style of music,
Okay,
this raw
okay.
death metal, and they were playing in Dubai recently. That's why I remembered
Okay.
it. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And Mordzucht, or I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, is another band you did with Patrick Mameli.
Yeah, but never music came out. Never,
It never
because
came out.
but yeah, it's a true story. Like he asked me, he wanted to do this, and he contacted me and he said, "Do you want to do vocals?" I said, "Yeah, of course. Why not?" And then I don't know, and then I don't hear. I didn't hear anything anymore. So like, yeah, probably I was thinking like, yeah, he will be busy with Pestilence, and of course I understand. But why don't you send me one message and say, hey, Aad, it will not go on. Like it takes you 5 minutes,
Yeah,
and
man.
yeah, I never heard anything back from this anymore. So okay, it's his choice. It's
Okay.
not.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not such a big deal. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, man. Okay.
yeah. More. I cannot tell about it. So like, that's it. Yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah.
Okay. Are there any interesting albums that you listened to in the last year
Ooh,
from the new
yeah,
releases? Be it a big
yeah.
name or whatever.
No, it's more like I listen, especially the newer stuff that comes out, because when I check something on internet and I really like it, I buy it. Like for example, the new Whitechapel, I'm listening, the Suffocation, like that came out, of course, and for the rest, yeah, this is more the music like that I listen a lot, and for the rest, yeah, it's different. What I told you before. I can also later go up and take I don't know, listen to Fast as a Shark from Accept or something. It's it's this kind of how I am. It's not that I listen only one record all the time. Yeah, yeah. So it's like I have, for example, the new Deus Mortem from Poland.
The new?
Maybe Deus Mortem from Poland. It's a
Okay.
black death metal band. They sent me the new record, and that one is really good. It's a perfect mix of black and death metal. So I'm listening to this quite a lot now. Yeah, they are
And,
called Deus Mortem. Yeah.
what are your feelings with the typical big names from Tampa, Florida in death metal?
Yeah, like when we speak about Morbid Angel, or like, yeah,
Morbid
then it's for
Angel,
me.
Obituary, Cannibal Corpse,
Yeah,
the
like
Atheist.
Monstrosity,
Mm,
for example. That's a band that, when I think they would deserve much more attention. I think they are a really great band, but on one way, it looks like when nobody really picked them up. Like, and all this, like Deicide, of course, new Deicide, by the way, I have it. It's really good. I think.
I listened to a song. Yes, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, I was really surprised how good it was. Like, so yeah, this kind of bands, I like it. I still listen to Obituary or Deicide, or like more. when I listen to Morbid Angel, I have to be honest, then it's always like more the first 4 records.
Exactly the same. My friends are
Yeah,
teasing me
yeah,
because I always say the same number, the first four.
yeah. It's like
Same
because
happens with Obituary for me, the first four. Same
yeah,
happens
it's
with
like
with
yeah.
a lot
Like
of
for
bands. I
example,
don't know.
Domination for Morbid Angel. I think it's great. Like it's whoa. Like,
Alders of
but if
Madness, Blessed Are the Sick,
yeah,
Covenant, and Domination. I mean, what can you
yeah,
say? Yeah.
yeah. As I but this is I just say this band are also a bit I don't know I use the right word. They're a little bit fucked with this kind of records, because everything after I recognize it with Sinister. To be honest, they always say the first three or the first four, like Till Buster Saints. That was the Sinister, and like of course I'm happy that they say this, but yeah, what can I say? I will not make the same record like in '95.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want this, I also like to change a little bit, but still play death metal. We also a little bit like Morbid Angel with this. We are a little bit fucked with this. Yeah.
This, let me just answer very quickly a comment because I don't know if the sound is low or if we have a general problem. My friend Vitamin Death, he says, Καθόλου. Hold on, just bear with me for a second. Because we might have a sound problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything seems normal here. I hope it's on his side. Everybody else, let me see. Everybody else can hear us. I hope. I hope we don't run into any technical difficulties. But let me just very quickly check. All right. It seems okay from my side, but.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see. I think that what you said about the first four albums and everything, it has to do with we were talking about this with James Murphy as well, and okay, hold on, because people are telling us that they're having sound problems. Just let me check very quickly. 1, 2, 3. Check. And 1, 2, yeah, we do have a sound. I checked it. Okay, let me just say checked. Where is sound? Side. Okay. Sorry about the interruption, but as long as I can see that there is sound, it's good. Okay. Yeah, so James Murphy was saying that one major factor is also nostalgia, because when we got to listen to the albums at the time, we were in our childhood years, and we were connecting everything with the golden era of, of good life. So yeah.
It's totally 100% true. I always also say this, like people are so attached. Like they grow up with this record, so it has always a special place in their heart, And it's so difficult for them to step away from this and then appreciate what the band is doing later on,
Yeah.
So, but
it's a combination. It's a combination also. If the all right, he says sound is back. Oh, phew. Good to know. It's. I think it's a combination of one thing is nostalgia. It's not the major factor, but also sometimes, yes, indeed, some bands they actually release some masterpieces that are very difficult to surpass. Right?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
They've set up the stakes very high. So
yeah, it's like for the first record, you have always a lot of time, and then when you need to follow up. And the record label say, can you please, let's say, not say do it fast as possible, but can you do it in 2 years? Then there's way much more pressure, and maybe then some bands are maybe happy with a riff or a part that it's normally that they would not take it, but because they are in time problem, they take it, I think this is for a lot of bands problem. So, but maybe this is the reason. I don't know. Like, but it's like when your first record, you put so much effort in this. You know, like yeah. Maybe this is the reason why it turns out such a masterpiece. Yeah, I don't know.
Have
Yeah.
you having spoken about the first four albums of Morbid Angel? Have you listened to David Vincent's new band Ultimas?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, of course.
What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, yeah. What can I say? I have the first record, the newer one. I don't have. Okay, I like it, but yeah, it's not that I will play it a lot.
Yeah,
Let's say,
yeah. You
it's
prefer obviously the old times, I know, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's not like yeah, I don't know. It's like yeah, his voice is really. I love his voice. You know, he's like this. Yes, it's maybe not so deep, but it's really heavy, and I really like. But yeah, the music. It's I don't know. It's hard to say something bad because I don't want. But I only can say it's not really my thing. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah. Oh no, it's not bad for something not to be your thing,
yeah,
you know.
that's
But
it. You know, like
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I personally love both the records. I really liked his new stuff.
Yeah, I will never speak also on internet or I will never talk anything bad about the band because why the hell should you, you know, like
No, exactly.
yeah,
There's nothing bad about it,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
It's just a matter of taste, and taste is
yeah.
respectable. Yeah, yeah.
That's music. It's pure all about taste. Yeah, correct.
Okay. Um, and before I ask you if you listen to any new releases, and I wanted also to ask you if there's anything that you're looking forward to listening from the upcoming albums in 2025 and the new stuff that is coming up. If there's something that drew your attention.
Oh no, yeah, I was really looking forward to to the new Whitechapel. To be honest, I was
As
really
you
for
said,
and
yeah.
yeah, and I also look for. I know it's out. I still need to get it, but the new Cradle of Filth. I
All
uh,
right.
I I heard it back. Oh, I was listening to it, and it gave me more the feeling from the old Cradle of Filth again.
Hmm.
So I was pretty impressed, to be honest. So I still like to get this, and for the rest, I don't know exactly what comes out. I always check on internet when something I see it comes out in 25 or like also when it's not a famous band, then I like to order it by the band or something like this. But it's not that I really know what really is coming. Let's say, yeah, yeah.
I see. Okay. Um, Tell us about a gig that you remember watching as a fan that totally blew your mind and you will never forget.
Well, that have to be one of Suffocation shows.
Again,
For
of
sure.
course.
Like, yeah, I saw them a couple of times in Holland, and I was really like, fuck, it cannot be better better than this, you know. This is yeah, perfect, let's say. I also saw some time ago like a Misery Index. They were also like really good, you know. So yeah, it's like this kind of bands that like when I see it and the sound is perfect or perfect good, you know, then yeah, then I can enjoy this a lot, you know,
Hmm.
like yeah, yeah.
All right. Ad, how do you approach songwriting now compared to the early 90s? Has your creative process changed over time?
Not really. Of course, it gets. We have now 16, 17 records, I think, or something like this. Uh, of course, it gets harder every time. You know, like we have used already so many riffs, and you know, because I think um, like the way Sinister is playing, you're always stuck to some certain, I don't know, some beats. You know, you cannot make too strange stuff because first of all we don't want like that's why we put in syncretism more like samples and keyboards and to make it a little bit more different. But I think now when we have a riff and it sounds great or really good or heavy as hell, then we keep it, you know, like it's not really that our our way of writing is different. I don't think so. You know, we come like back in the days. We came up, for example, with the Hate record. I can tell you, Bart and me, we did a full record together. Mike was never there. We did all the music. And then we were finished with all the songs. And we said to each other, do you think that is good enough? And we said to each other, like, yeah, no idea. He said, yeah, but we like it. It's good. And then it turned out maybe our most famous record, you know, like. But then we were also making music that came up. It was not really, we want to do this or this or this. Like when a riff was good, we took it. And every time it turns out, yeah, let's say a little bit different, you know. So it's not that we have a totally different view of writing music. No.
And a different thing, you know, comparing the time back then with today, of course, is technology in recording music. It's huge difference. So how do you see that affecting, you know, the writing process and the music in general?
Nah, it's like, it's more that like we also doing now, Simon, our drummer, he lives also in Slovenia, but he lives in Maribor at the other side. He can record his drums himself. You know, he has his own studio. Like a Walter guitar player, he can record at home, you know, and everything. I can record here. You know, we are not even together anymore, you know. And that's like, okay, it has good things, but I start missing a lot the old days with this, you know, that you were going to the studio together, you were there for 2-3 weeks, you were sleeping there, eating together, you know, you were helping each other to motivate each other, you know. And now it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's totally different, you know, like. And this is what I miss from the old days, what you said before, that you create friendship, you know, like. And now it's like, yeah, you do your thing and goes to the studio and it get mixed and we sound fucking great, but we didn't even see each other, you know, like. Yeah. So of course it's cool at one way, but yeah, the other way is like, yeah, what I said, you miss the old days, but yeah, what can you do? This is the future, you know, like.
And it was that romantic feeling back then with the tape
Yeah.
trading, with the letters. Yeah, we used to write.
Waiting for weeks.
Yeah,
Waiting
exactly,
for
man.
weeks for a tape in a mailbox.
Exactly, and also the communication with other bands. You would wait for weeks and then get a letter, and it's like, oh man, you know, he sent me a letter or something, and
Yeah.
So all
I
that's gone.
I have even the small letter from Miller, from Creator, from back in the days, before with the Endless Pain record. I still have this.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
that's really cool. Yeah.
Things are
And
changed.
sorry. I also wanted to say with the technology, it's like that it's like they can do so much in the studio that even a shit band sounds on CD totally great.
Yeah, true.
Totally great. So you don't even know when you listen to records, you don't even know how they will sound live. And then sometimes you go to this band and then you think like, is this the same band? They are not that great, you know, like, or in my opinion, of course.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. So it's like a little bit of fake, you know. That's, of course, I understand when you buy a CD. Of course, I understand that you want to have the best quality. I understand you spend a lot of money, so I understand this. But like, yeah, then when you go live and you have the intention to buy a T-shirt, and they sound totally different, you know, then it's like a disappointment.
Yeah,
like
of course.
Yeah.
What about AI?
Sorry?
AI, artificial intelligence.
So what do you want to know about this?
I don't know. I just left it free. You can express yourself as you like.
Yeah. Okay, next question, okay?
Because this was a double question, and one part would be for music, and that's your answer. Next question. What about it in general, even outside of music? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. So better to go to the next one.
Fair enough. That's an answer. Okay. And having spoken about the difference of technology from the 90s to today, I think it would be also nice I'm not technical, but for those who are musicians, and I think that a lot of people would like to hear what gear you guys are using. You know, what guitars, what distortions, what this, what pedals, what that. You know.
No, I can be really honest in this. Like I know Walter, he has this Enki case, like where you put on your guitar for traveling. He built everything himself.
Mm.
So like every time when we go to a concert, and it sounds so fucking brutal, and every time people are coming and watching, like, what the hell is this? You know, like, but he's building him everything himself. So I have no clue what is like, what gear he's really using. You know, like, and that's the same for a bass guitar. She has Ibanez, but live we use always the amps from other bands. For Simon, he has for his own Pearl drums, you know, but live we always use drums from somebody else. You know, like it's always different. And for me, I don't care when they give a mic. I don't want a mic like without cable. I want an old school mic with a cable, you know, and it doesn't matter. It's always a Shure 58. So it's always the same. And this is what I use, or I play for 10 people or 10,000. It doesn't matter. I always use the same stuff.
For some reason, I mean, I've been in a couple of bands in the past as well. I've been doing vocals as well, and I had the same feeling that the mic should have a cable. You know,
me too.
It's just a feeling. You know, it's not. Yeah, it's just a feeling. Man. I don't know. Yeah.
I never like this without cable. I need one with cable. Also, when you're performing, you're holding the cable maybe a little bit for singing and blah blah blah. I don't know. I like to have this. Yeah.
Cool. All right. And Aad, any chance we get to see some new video clips of Sinister in the future?
Oh yeah, we like when I'm finished all the vocals, we will pick out. Of course, everybody has to agree with one song, and then for sure we will record a new video. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, killer.
Yeah.
Aad, I think my questions are finished here. I don't have many things more to ask.
Okay.
Is there something else that you think you would like to cover from the camp of Sinister? Something else that maybe we have forgot?
No, not really. I'm only thankful that you invite me for this.
Me too, man.
I know that all the members are happy with this because all promotion is welcome, of course. I hope that I'm a cool guy with the interview. It's all what you see is what you get with me. I'm never different on the camera or at home. You know, it's always the same.
Yeah, man.
So,
I mean, it's like two buddies hanging out in a bar, and I really enjoyed this. Yeah, we have a nice chat.
That's what I like, you know. So
and that's what I try to do with my interviews as well. Just keep it relaxed, have a nice chat, enjoy, talk about the music we love, and through that we get to know the band's news and everything. So
yeah, that's perfect. And of course, I like to thank from Greece, like when they are fan from Sinister, I really thank them from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that they will still support us, and I hope that we will not disappoint you with the new record, but I'm almost for sure that you will love it. So
perfect.
Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Aad. Aad Kloosterward, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching us tonight. And I wish you all the best with Lucid Nightmares. Is that, yeah. So it was really nice to have this on my show. All the best. Thank you very much. And hope to see you again soon sometime. If you have any news, we can have another interview in the future.
Of course. Thank you very much, brother.
Thank you very much, everybody. Just let me remind to our audience that tomorrow, for those who speak Greek, because it's going to be in Greek language, we're going to have the Metalheads Cafe, as we call it, with my friends Vic and Michael. Michael, the vocalist of Democracy. And we're just going to talk about music. And on Wednesday, we're going to have Bobby Liebling from Pentagram, who recently also became quite famous as a meme all over the internet. So do tune in. And also on the 23rd, on Wednesday, we're going to have Carl Sanders from Nile with us here for 45 minutes. It's going to be a short interview. So thank you all for watching, and good night.
Okay, see you.
Take care.